What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Maurice Unscripted. No script, no pretending, just real life. I'm your host, Maurice, and today we're talking about something every man, every woman, every believer will eventually have to face. The cost of becoming the man God called you to be. Because here's the truth. Becoming who God created you to be isn't free. There's always a cost. Many people want the calling, but they don't want the cost. They want the blessings without the breaking. They want the promise without the process. They want the crown without the cross, but God doesn't work that way. One thing I've learned in life is that God loves us exactly where we are, but he loves us too much to leave us there. Growth requires change. Change requires discomfort, and discomfort always costs something. For us, the cost of pride. For others, it was addiction. For some, it was toxic relationships. God wasn't interested in improving me. He wanted to transform. Let's be honest. Surrender sounds good in church, but surrender is hard in real life. Surrender means giving God control. It means trusting him when you don't understand. It means saying, God, not my will, but yours be done. And sometimes God's will doesn't look anything like what we planned. Sometimes he tells us to walk away. Sometimes he tells us to wait. Sometimes he tells us to forgive people who've never apologized. Sometimes he tells us to put down things that have been holding us on to for years. Surrender cost me comfort. It cost me control. But what I gained was peace. One of the hardest lessons I've learned is this. Not everyone will celebrate the new you. Let me say that again. Not everyone will celebrate the new you. Some people benefited from the old you. The old you tolerated disrespect. The old you had no boundaries. The old you kept returning to places God delivered you from. When you begin to change, people get uncomfortable. Why? Because your growth exposes their unwillingness to grow. And that's okay. You can't become who God called you to be while trying to remain who everybody else wants you to be. Galatians 1:10 asks, by now trying to win the approval of human beings or of God, and you can't serve both. Jesus never hid the cost of discipleship. Luke 9:23 says, whoever wants to be my disciple must deny themselves and take up their cross daily and follow me. Daily, not once, every